Welcome to the 2023 NFL Draft, Denver. The Broncos have made 2 selections in round 3, so we're going to break down the newest member of the Broncos as they went 63, Marvin Mims, and then right afterwards at 67, Drew Sanders. Now, Denver traded up from their 68 pick to land the Oklahoma wide receiver Marvin Mims. So we'll start the video off by talking about him, and then we'll shift gears and get over to Drew Sanders. But first, some information on Marvin Mims. 5'10", 183 pounds. Our Tom Downey had him ranked as the number 9 wide receiver. As for Drew Sanders, he's got him as the number 1 linebacker. We'll throw Drew Sanders' information on screen. He's 6'4", 235 pounds. Now, Marvin Mims was someone they traded up to get, and we'll throw the trade details on screen. It was not a monstrous type trade, if that's even a word, to go land Marvin Mims. They had a bit of a pick swap here in rounds 3, third round, 63 and 68, and then a day 3 pick swap in rounds 5 and 6. So Detroit picks up a 5th rounder. Denver moves back to 6. Those are third round pick swaps. Excuse the typo for second round there. But let's start things off with Marvin Mims, right? What is Denver getting in the Oklahoma Sooner? He is a big play machine. 2 straight seasons in Norman where he averaged over 20 yards per catch. Those are not fluke type numbers, right? That is consistent down the field threat. Something that this wide receiver room is looking for. And Jerry Jeudy can bring that, but Marvin Mims can really bring that. Now, he's got to expand his route tree, right? He's got to incorporate more than just a vertical to it, but he's got one heck of a vertical. 4.3, 8.40. You're just not going to catch him in a foot race. And Courtland Sutton and Tim Patrick, they are not the fastest cats out there. I do wonder what this pick might mean for the future for some of the wide receivers in this draft room, because Marvin Mims, he is going to make things interesting as Denver is going clearly best player available and not so much for need with their first selection. Now, some stats on Marvin Mims. 54 grabs, 1,000 yards, and 6 touchdowns for the Oklahoma Sooners last season. Like I said, over 20 yards per reception. Marvin Mims is going to stretch the field for Denver. You should be excited about this pick because I think Marvin Mims in early round 3 has really high potential, right? He can be a big play machine. Can Marvin Mims turn into an every down receiver who can run every single route in the book? Probably not. Now, with that being said, between Marvin Mims and Drew Sanders, who we're going to look at more in just a second, grade the pick for me. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the picks, I should say. What are we giving this grade, huh? I'm thinking this is a B+. I like Drew Sanders, and we're going to talk about him in just a second. I would have loved to have seen them gone cornerback here. We did see a good run of corners go in round 2, so maybe Denver felt that just the value wasn't right for early round 3 for some of the guys still on the board, right? Tyreek Stevenson was gone. Julius Brents was gone. There were still some other good corners out there at the time, but Sean Payton makes his first draft selection at Mile High, and it's a big play machine in Marvin Mims. Then 4 picks later at their original 67th pick, they go Drew Sanders. So here's some background information on the Arkansas Razorback. A one-time 5-star recruit for Alabama, he would eventually transfer to Arkansas where he was an amazing football player. There's no other way to put it, really, right? A ginormous breakout season, unanimous All-American last year for the Razorbacks. Here are his stats from 2022. 10 sacks, 5 pass breakups, 103 tackles, 13.5 tackles for loss, first team All-SEC. He led the team in virtually everything. Tackles for loss, sacks, and forced fumbles. This is a gritty, just blue-collar football player type of pick here. Did Denver need another linebacker? Maybe not, right? You've got Josie Jewell, you have Alex Singleton. But if you're looking at the upside and you want to get the best player available, because you know those 2 linebackers aren't going to be around forever, Drew Sanders is your guy. Now, he is very effective in blitzing. He's a bit undersized to be a defensive end. I really doubt anyone would ever use him in that way. He's probably going to be an outside linebacker. Maybe they line him up at inside linebacker at times. He is more than just a blitzer, though, okay? He's got some good speed. He can help out in coverage as well. Now, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're going to read some write-ups and some blurbs on these two guys in just a moment. But we keep you guys in the loop, right? We make sure you are covered every single day when it comes to all things Denver Broncos. So subscribe if you have not already. Now, with that being said, we're going to check out some of the Athletic's Dane Brugler's write-ups on these players. Starting with Marvin Mims. Mims must prove himself versus press man coverage and expand his route running inventory with improved stem balance / footwork. But his bread and butter will always be his field stretching speed and finishing skills. He will add an explosive element to an NFL offense as a rotational rookie receiver and punt returner. He does offer some special teams upside as a return man. Sorry, Montreal, Washington. Then for Dane Brugler on Drew Sanders. Drew Sanders must become a more skilled tackle finisher and take-on player, but he offers intriguing versatility as a do-everything front seven defender thanks to his size and athletic range. He is an ascending player with the talent to be a matchup linebacker and occasional pass rusher in the NFL. A guy that had 10 sacks last year might be more than just an occasional pass rusher. Now, when you look at what was picked around these two players, I mean, between Mims and Drew Sanders, Zach Pickens went, Tyler Steen, Sidney Brown. How about Hendon Hooker going right afterwards? That could have been a decision Denver made, right? They could have gone quarterback right there with Hooker still on the board. They opt to instead go with the just incredible athlete that is Drew Sanders and Marvin Mims. These are purely best player available type picks, down the line type of picks, right? Maybe not 2023 impact players because they're not stepping into a room that has a major hole that is now filled, okay? They've already got plenty of wide receivers. The question is, do they have the wide receivers for the future? Mims could be that guy. Same goes for Drew Sanders at his respective position. Now, if you are a nerd for the combine / pro day numbers, Marvin Mims ran a 4.3840. That is fast. It's almost perfect that it's not like so fast where it's, well, you ran the fastest 40 time, you're probably going to be a bust like John Ross. Right in the sweet spot right there. Now, Drew Sanders, he ran a 4.640. For a linebacker, that's pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. You find linebackers maybe more in the range of 4.7-ish. I mean, Nolan Smith ran a 4.39, but 4.64 is not pedestrian. It's a good 40-yard time. Drew Sanders is a Swiss Army knife. I am very excited to see what Vance Joseph does with his brand new toy because he can be lined up in a variety of areas. All in all, as we look at Denver's offseason profile now that they have finally arrived to the 2023 NFL Draft, they still have 3 more picks to make over the next day and change of the 2023 NFL Draft. My raw reaction and takeaway, though, to summarize these 2 picks, I like them. Why? Because I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't like them. I always have preached best player available. It might not be a need this season, but who knows what the roster is going to look like just 2 years from now. Does this open a door for maybe a wide receiver trade? Potentially. I wouldn't be shocked if Denver goes, no, we like the 4 wide receivers here, right? We like Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton, Tim Patrick, and Marvin Mims. We want to keep that core group together. KJ Hamler is now more or less on the outside looking in. He definitely could be traded for relatively nothing over the next day or so of the draft. As for Drew Sanders, I mean, you can't rely on Randy Gregory as an outside linebacker. I don't know if Drew Sanders is big enough to be a typical outside linebacker in a 3-4 front. He might come in on like blitz packages where maybe you bump out Alex Singleton and you get the best pass rushers on the field as possible. But those are the selections for Denver. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you have not already. And Broncos country, welcome to the 2023 NFL Draft.